Alright, I guess I'll give a little overview of this map. I'm going to talk about this because it's actually a very nicely designed map. It's a little bit different from the Capture the Flag maps that you're used to. So you'll usually spawn in either this spot here or on the other side of the giant courtyard. So the giant courtyard here is kind of your main feature of both bases. Both bases have a large courtyard here, and the enemy is going to come up from the double ramp over here and over here, and they come through this doorway. This doorway is a very major choke point. So defense, anytime the flow of the map all goes through one spot, you call that a choke point, and the defense can focus on that to try and stop the offense from coming in. So the front door of your base is here, and if you swim across the lake here, you will get, or bounce across because I have Jello water turned on. You'll get to the other team's entrance. I'm just going to show our side. So you come in through the door, and there is this is a choke point, obviously here, and there is an underwater route, but it needs to be blown open in order to make use of it. So there's two routes you can go this way once you get in through the front door, and then there's another choke point here, and then from here you can see there's three ways out from the courtyard. Once you come in, the center thing over there is rarely used. It leads to a place that only people with a heavy weapons gun can use. How do you get out of jail? Go to the console and type kill. If you try to walk into restricted areas, it sends you to prison. So the main flow though is that somebody on the other team will come in and they'll have to go left. The left area is where the flag is, and they come in this way. And again, there's a left and there's a right. The right takes you through the library. The left takes you through this hallway, so most people go left, it's a little bit faster. And then you're in the warden's office. And so I've built a Tesla gun in there. That's one of the special things that I made in Custom Team Fortress, a laser-based lightning gun. You walk over the key, you pick it up, and then you walk back through this corridor, back through this choke point here, which the defense will try to hold and keep you from running the flag. Then you have to cross the courtyard, and then you can either branch left this way, or you branch right this way. Go through the shower room. Shower room has the underground exit pops up here. It's the easiest way to get into the enemy base, actually, is to come up that way. And then either way you go, the other way just leads right up here. You walk down this corridor. This is one long choke point, and the only way of getting around the choke point is by going through this, which can only be disabled by that center route that I talked about earlier. So I'm going to go into the enemy base now and see if I can run their flag, see if they're protecting it at all. So he just summoned a fish on dry water, which is not a great idea. It just dies. So if you want to summon a fish, summon it in the water. But there's kind of no point to summoning a fish because we have Jello water turned on. So what you probably want to do is summon a scrag instead. Scrags are flying creatures that... Wow, that's really bright. I don't know what's going on with that. That's super bright. I'm hit. So I've got the enemy flag now. I'm just playing an engineer. So let me play a scout instead and see if I can run the flag on the enemy base. And if you have hover boots or a grappling hook, you can come in through the balcony up top. Yep, so go to the console and type kill, Christian. So I have the enemy flag. So I ran the flag a little bit. Enough for first down. Dang it. So, it's okay, the flag's right by the entrance here. So all I have to do is grab that, and then as long as their heavy weapons guy doesn't see me, I should be able to capture the flag. So I'll run it into the enemy base over here, and then you hit the thing there. And then this map, Rock, is based on the movie The Rock. And so what happens is you are in Alcatraz or something, and they have a bunch of VX gas, like in the movies, and so that just murdered everybody on the map that was not able to get to a gas mask on time. So there are gas masks in different places. They're all hidden behind those yellow caution hazard sign doors. They only open when the gas is released. And if you're on the enemy team, this is about the only gas mask that's readily available to you. So if one of your teammates sets off the gas, if you're in the gas room with them, you're safe. If you're in the lake, you're safe. And so a very common tactic is for people to just leap into the lake and avoid being killed that way. Or there's this gas mask here. And if you sneak into the enemy base on the top side, there's a couple other places where you can... Aha! Thanks for opening the door. Normally you can't get the... Normally you can't get the key that way. But I tricked the enemy heavy weapons guy into opening the door for me. The door only opens for people on their team. And I'm about to release gas again. And so every capture is 15 points. Usually in a capture the flag map, they're 10 points each. And so I don't know where the other people on blue are. We've got a heavy weapons guy that's playing defense. I haven't seen anyone else on blue. Let's see. Map seems a little big. It is a big map, but it's a very, very well designed map. That's why they do Rocktober every October. They play games on the Rock. This is a very well designed map. The lights turn on anytime a member of the enemy team walks in. There's different lights. There's floodlights, and these are really overly bright. But they click on. Excuse me. Wow. The lights turn on anytime a member of the enemy team is there. So it's a way of seeing. See that heavy weapons guy's not paying attention to me. That's good. So because he didn't see me, I'm going to go and capture the flag. Another time, I don't think anyone else on their team is fast enough to catch me. And there is a third cap there. Hello, scout. You're gonna die. Oh, if you walk over that doorway there, you die. Only a heavy weapons guy can open that doorway there. There you go. Live stream death. It's like Facebook 2021. Alright, let's see if I can capture the flag again. Get some ammo. We've got the hover boots, which are really nice. Oh, I've got the air fist too. Forgot about that. So let's see if I can navigate. Yeah, okay, so you can see down there there's a sniper. He's kind of eyeballing me, but I'll just kind of do this and just push him around. Okay. See, I pushed the heavy weapons guy into the air. The heavy weapons guy can only fire when he is on the ground. And so what I did was I air fisted him up into the air, which stopped him from being able to attack me. Briefly. And then I was able to sneak past and do the scout thing. So hopefully the people on the other team are learning, and on our team too. It kills everybody on the map. Poison gas does not discriminate. Hopefully people are learning where the gas masks are, or they're gonna die. Or oh yeah, you can't really jump in the water, can you? Huh. Because of gel water. Ah, he got me that time. Dang. All right, so let me try going custom here. And what should I be? What should I be? Yeah, I'll go with I'll try a Warlock build. I see some people have been playing that, so I'll kind of go over that. Warlocks require a knife, and you have to go to your jobs category. So even though there's no classes in Custom Team Fortress, the whole point of it, I mean, there are classes. You can play soldier, but the whole point of Custom Team Fortress is to have kind of a point-based system for building a character rather than having a pre-made class made for you, which is why it's more interesting than normal Team Fortress. You can mix and match different elements to suit your play style and to suit the changing needs of the map. As the map progresses, you might notice, like, oh, we really need somebody with X. Or they're all doing this, so I need to pick the counter for it. And so with Custom Team Fortress, you can respec and recustomize, and then as such, adapt as the game plays to the changing meta inside of the game. And there is no best build, there's always a counter to everything. So it's very common for people to counter each other, custom, back and forth. People tend to lock in when they use the upgrade command. The upgrade command converts their points. Let's look at the thing here. I have 63 points right now. If I were to type upgrade, then it sells 50 of my frags, and I get an extra $5,000. But the trouble is, if I ever respec, all that's lost. So when people upgrade, not only does it move them, to the bottom of the scoreboard, but you lose because you really don't want to respec once you've upgraded. So yeah, there is that. So if I'm gonna play a Warlock, I probably want to be a little bit future-proof. So I'm gonna pick up a light assault cannon. I will pick up a knife, of course. Why is the entire map completely dark? It's not completely dark. It shouldn't be black. Go to your visual quality settings. If you turn the quality settings actually up to the max, then it turns black, because there isn't a global illumination pre-calculated for this map. So we'll do pretty fast legs, I think. Spike it would be really good. Yeah, let's do Spike It. Spike It combos really nicely with a Warlock. So it's a Warlock. Okay, we'll do summons, and we'll just do the one soul. So you can actually have the ability to summon monsters, and you can have up to 3 monsters summoned at once. Maybe I'll pick up 1 more soul. Why not? Yeah, go all the way. Why not? Okay. So we've got that. Demon Lore. I do like hover boots too. I do like grenades. I'll just pick up some normal grenades. And then the rest of my money I'm going to put into health and speed. So I'll split it about 50-50. Speed and good health. Perfect. This is a very solid build here. I got red armor, 200 armor, 100 health. Pretty tanky. I'm not the fastest, but I've got hover boots, which allow me to... damn it. If you don't screw up, it allows you to get some pretty good mobility up in there. And I look like a spy, so I'm going to have to change my
appearance so I look like an engineer. And I'm going to change my color to look like I'm on the blue team. So that takes a little bit of time. And there we go. And so I am just a friendly engineer on the blue team. The lights still turn on, even though I'm a spy. They do turn on. And that does give away the fact that I am a spy. But where are the people on the other team? Let's see if I can find some people. I think I saw a sniper up there somewhere. Ah. Hello, friend. Mr. Blue, just come to a stop for a second. Just stand. No, just stand right. No, just look the other way. Look, turn around. Oh wait, are you on my team? Wait, what team am I on? Nope. There we go. All right. So he has a lot of health. Normally the knife bypasses armor. He probably has melee armor on, which allows him to not just instantly get killed by a backstab attack like that. Because he is playing heavy weapons guy. He's got 300 armor and he probably has melee armor on. Now that I've got a kill, I can summon a demon. Oh no, I need to have 2 kills. So. I'm dead. Don't kill me. I'm dead. Ah, damn it. He didn't fall for it. Alright, so there is... Oh, damn it. I just threw a grenade on myself. So we have a heavy weapons guy cruising into our base over here. So I'm going to try and grenade him down. Oops, I primed it. Damn it! I'm just not covering myself with glory here. Where do you go? You can prime a grenade and hold it so that you can release it and have it kind of airburst on top of people, but I didn't see him, so I held on to it a little bit too long. Throwing a grenade does not cost you your disguise. So right now I'm an engineer on team 1. So they will have no idea that it's me coming at them. Although the light will give it away like that. So I'm looking to get a second backstab kill. There we go. There's a friendly... Hello, friendly person. Hey, no. I'm friendly. I'm a friendly person. I'm hit. There we go. So I hit him with a grenade. Maybe I can get a knife kill. Knife versus flamethrower is a bad idea. Ah! It's not a good matchup, especially since I don't have the speed to really do anything about it. I probably should just switch to a gun and just shot at him. So there he is. So I'm using the light assault cannon, and the light assault cannon has a pretty wide spread. So this isn't necessarily a very good approach here. He was, however, using the flamethrower, which is absolutely not the right move to use because it's short range. And so, as you can see, the flamethrower didn't reach me. So now I'm gonna disguise myself. probably should have disguised myself prior to going to the base. So as long as I stay outside of his flamethrower range, he's not really damaging me at all. He probably should have switched to the incendiary cannon and used that instead. Pyros are good in corridors and close range. At sort of medium range, which the light assault cannon is a good medium range weapon. It's a better matchup for me. And let's see if I get in here. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna go disguise myself, and I'm just gonna see if I can find one of their team. There we go. If I can just find him sitting around, not paying any attention. Not quite fast enough.
I'm hit.
I'm almost dead. Go back into my base, get some more health. Yeah, the Warlock route is tough because melee in a first-person shooter is always a hard thing to do. The best approach is to find people who are just like kind of not paying attention and backstab them. But the Pyro's too clever for me, and then their heavy weapons guy has got a lot of melee armor, and I don't know where their third person is. So you take it to the opposite side. So you walk into their base and you pick up the key on the left side, and then you take it to the right side. And if you go to the very end, there's the warden's office, and that's the place. There's a switch, and you hit the switch with your nose. So in Quake, there is a use command in Quake, but it's just not used for anything. So originally they're going to have people like hit the E button, you know, to open a door or something. But instead, you just walk up and you just touch things with your nose, and that activates things. So I don't know where you are with the flag. The Attackers Go Red client actually will draw the flag. It has like a radar that kind of shows you where the flag is. Yeah, not a great trade-off there. Still looking to get my second kill, and I can't respec into faster movement because I have upgraded, and then I'd lose all the extra money that I got out of this. So somewhere there is a yes, there we go. Got my second frag. Okay. So now I am going to say hello to my little friend and summon a demon. So you have to get 2 backstabs to pull off a demon like that. Come here, patrol the zone. So let's tell you to patrol, and so it'll now kind of walk around a little bit, looking for people on the other team. So you can see it's just kind of walking back and forth. Stationary demons, people can hit them with grenades around the corner. It's a lot easier to do that. So it's got 1,500 health. It's got a lot of health. Like, these things are definitely bullet sponges. You can have it follow you too, which is funny. I do have let's see, Piranha, Scrag. Scrag requires 1 heart. No. So I need to get another knife kill. I'll feign death here. So I look dead, they can't. I look just like a corpse, they can't tell. There. So the pyro's looking around, he's wondering which of these corpses is me. He may have found me. Ah! The corpses do actually move, like if you rotate the camera, you'll actually see the corpse rotating in place, which is kind of funny. Don't carry the flag across the lake. The flag actually stays in. The flag actually stays in the enemy base. It's different. Oh, great. The flag actually stays in the enemy base, and you bring it from the left side of the base to the right side of the base. Alright, so when they're distracted, that's usually a good time to get kills. Oh, good backstab there. Alright. Alright, so you got the key, so follow me. It's this way. And you go over here. And so one of the things you have to think about when doing map design is the flow of the map. Like, what routes do people take through the game? And you can see that they kind of come in this way and they branch left and they come back through the center area. And so that courtyard area is a site of a lot of activity, you know. Defense people spawn on the wings and usually come out through the courtyard. The offense comes in through the courtyard, goes left, comes back in through the courtyard, and goes right. So it's usually a good place to put a sentry gun, or maybe not, because there's a lot of activity in there, and so, you know, spam will sometimes just take out your sentry gun. So one of the advantages of the light assault cannon over the heavy assault cannon is you can move while firing it. The light assault cannon doesn't slow you down. The heavy one does. You can only move. Oh, dang it! I jumped in front of my fiend. Ah, yeah. The assault cannon's one of the best anti-fiend weapons in the game. It's one of the few weapons that is capable of just like out DPSing a demon. So the demon does about 80 damage in attack. The heavy weapons guy's got 400 health and armor, and even though the demon has 1500 health, the flamethrower and the assault cannon are capable of. Ah, dang it! I was about to backstab. So being a spy is not especially useful when there's only two people on the other team. I don't know where the third person is, but I've only seen two people playing on blue. There's supposedly Austin. I don't know where he is though. Oh, there he is. Okay. So by default in Quake, when you disguise yourself as somebody on the other team, your teammates see you as a member of the other team, and I actually modified it so that I actually modified the server so that it detects when a spy is going undercover, and it changes you to look like a mix of red and blue. It's kind of like in Team Fortress 2 how they have like you see your fellow spies with like a face on of the other team or whatever. I did this by having the player have a red and blue outfit, so you can tell, oh, that's a friendly spy. Because enemy spies look like your team. Friendly spy, you know, so the only person you'll ever see with a mixed red and blue outfit is a friendly spy that is disguised on the other team. Alright, so things have calmed down a little bit. Let's see if we can go get a backstab kill. I saw somebody walking over here. Here, follow me through here. So that's a security door. The the security door kills anybody that walks through it. You have to have a heavy weapons guy take down the power generator, and if they do that, then then you can walk through it. Oh, they released gas. All right, cool. And now when I glow like this, it removes my disguise. Anytime you glow, it turns off the disguise on a spy. And I'm currently invulnerable, which is vaguely useful as well. And the reason why is because once I pick up the flag, then you cannot disguise while you have the flag. Let's see if they are paying attention. Right, nobody on blue is playing defense, it looks like. So I probably should have built a knife build with the faster legs, because you really do need to be able to chase people down and knife them. But, yeah. There's also a close quarters combat upgrade that I could have taken that just ups the amount of damage the knife does. But as it is, my build right now is not optimal for this map. Okay, so we've hit 100 points. We'll call that the game. Frag limit. Oops. And there we go. That's game. So Team Red wins. Yay. Go Team Red. And also we learned that the firewall settings works properly. Okay. So from the console, just type quit, hit return. There's a lot of things you can do from the Quake console. Binding your keys, for one thing, is kind of important if you want to play the game. There's a lot of key binds and stuff like that. If you go into the Quake directory, if you go into Fortress, you'll see that there's these config files, and come on. Now your entire screen is dim. Well, I quit the server, so might have something to do with that. Oh, what's going on? I'm right-clicking. Come on, Windows. You can do this. I used to have the .cfg files associated with Notepad or something, which made it really easy. But oh Lord. Okay. Well. So, what did you guys learn about the Rock2 map? Go ahead and post in the chat channel. Gas is annoying. Well, yeah, you kind of have to learn where the gas masks are. But yeah, the whole point of it is to do a server wipe. So no matter where people are out of position, it's like starting a new game, right? And everyone starts from scratch and goes again. Sentry guns aren't affected, of course, but everyone else kind of respawns everybody at the same time, and kind of gives a sense of beginning and ending to a cap, you know, a sense of finality to it. Because if you don't do that, then what happens is the person who caps, everybody waits outside of the cap zone and kills them when they come out. So by doing that, it forces everybody to run back and try and get a gas mask or something, and then the person who capped the flag has a chance of escaping. Map's too big for 7 players. Going underwater is a bit confusing. Yeah, the in order to use there's a side entrance. There's an underwater entrance to the base The only way that you can use it, though, there's a landslide there. You have to drop a demo pack. So one of the options you can buy, or you can play a demo min, is you can drop a demolitions pack on the ground. And when you do that, you can clear the tunnel, and then that opens up a route from the lake into the shower room, which is a great way of bypassing heavy defense. It takes longer, but it's a way of bypassing a choke point, which is good map design. And then if you drop a second det pack on the in the underground area, you can blow a hole into the courtyard, and so it gives you another way of getting into the courtyard without having to go through the front door, which is oftentimes heavily guarded. So, take the whole class. You finally figured out how to get onto the server. That's fine. The map, is it too big for some players? Maybe. Like, there's a reason why, One Man Clan came up with the AGR mode. In AGR mode, one side is always offense, one side is always defense. So it effectively doubles the number of people, because normally your offense is fighting their defense, and their defense is fighting your offense. And so AGR allows you to essentially get more mileage out of a smaller number of people. So, yeah, the gas though, usually people bypass it by jumping into the lake or getting a gas mask, or they die. And it's not a big deal if you die either. Yeah, I guess you can get crushed to death by a door. That'd be kind of funny. All right, so yeah, so the Rock 2 is actually really, it takes a while to get used to it, and that's kind of why I gave us 40 minutes on it, was to kind of understand that, understand how the thing is laid out, right? And when you understand it, then it starts kind of making sense. There's a sniper deck. There's different ledges where engineers can place turrets. There's choke points, and there's ways around the choke points. It really takes all of the good principles of game map design. The only trouble is the first time anybody plays Rock 2, they always try to get the enemy flag and they try to carry it back to their base, which is what happened. And then as long as somebody has a flag, it doesn't respawn, right? And so everyone's sitting around like, why can we not capture the flag? It's because your teammate has it in your base and he's running around with it trying to figure out where the cap point is. So that's a thing. Probably if I had to modify the map, I would put a triggered box over the lake area, and if the flag ever entered it, I would have it drop, like on the balcony or something, on the balcony right before the lake. So it just falls out of view, and then any teammate who's entering the base can see the keys right there, and they can go in and get it. So that's one change I would make. Another change is one that AGR, the One Man Clan did with his AGR client, which is to show where the flag is. And so people on both offense and defense can see there's an overlay on your screen on the HUD. It shows you where the flag is at all times, and that's nice. That's a neat feature. And then things like voice chat he's implemented and stuff like that. So, or I don't know if he did it or if FTE did, but yeah, you can have built-in voice chat, which is nice as well. Okay, so that was Rock 2. Let's talk more about modding Quake. So, yeah, HDR is... I haven't used Windows 11 yet, but HDR is super buggy on PC. Like, I have to have HDR turned off on this monitor, because when I record an HDR monitor, the recording gets all jacked up. Like, the colors are all blown out and stuff like that. Is it doing the thing in Windows? Come on. Come on, Windows. You're better than this. Screenshots, yeah. It's like... It's nice, but like so many things have like 8-bit color like baked in as their assumption. But if you ever do like 10-bit color, there's just different things that just break and just don't work. Okay, so Yeah, I thought I had a quiz for you guys. There was a scavenger hunt, but apparently I didn't. So, oh well. I guess don't worry about that one. Maybe I'll put it up anyway. So, yeah, stuff related to the Scout is found in scout.qc. I'm going to do a little overview of like where stuff is. The Control-Shift-F is your primary way of getting at it, but I'm just going to kind of list off some things here. So AGR enables AGR mode. That's attackers go red. So red is on offense, blue is on defense. Flags for red are disabled. So blue gets points by defending their flag. If blue manages to keep their flag from being captured, then they get a cap. So it like I said, it has the effect of doubling the number of people on a server. So there's just one offense team and one defense team. I'm not streaming right now. Okay, that's a good point. So, yeah, here's what I'm looking at. I'm just looking at all the source code files. So, what's actions.qc have? Usually there's a list of the functions at the very top. Discard. Yeah, these are like the 1997. Look at that. I've made some modifications in the year 2000. Basically, these are sort of some of the generic Team Fortress commands, like discard. You can throw down a backpack containing ammunition. You can call to a medic to save you. You can ID somebody on your team, and you can reload your weapon. So that's not super interesting for most of us. Admin involves administering a server, kick and banning and stuff like that. AGR is attackers go red mode. AI is a bunch of common functionality for the different AI in the game. So there is single player mode available for custom Team Fortress. I don't know how well it works, but if you compile your code with hashtag co-op mode enabled, you can actually play single player Quake using the custom Team Fortress rule set. So you can actually, when you start the game, you're given $10,000 and you can buy yourself a rocket launcher and a medikit and have at it. And you can play through single player Quake with a custom class. I don't do that very often, so I don't know how stable it is. But in the regular mod, the AI is used for the Warlock, right? And so the Warlock has the ability to summon a variety of different monsters, and there's also a soldier that can teleport in AI bots. So you can play as a soldier, and every 5 minutes you can teleport in a bot to assist you. And so all of those use these functions here in AI. And they have things like, walk towards, the enemy and things like that. So anytime you see things like this, these are variables. Anytime you see something like this that's not inside of a function, it's a global variable. So that means there is a variable named current yaw that is just available to every function everywhere in QuakeC. And current yaw is the direction you're looking. So pitch, if you've ever played a flight simulator, you can pitch up and pitch down. All right? Roll, do a barrel roll. We almost never do rolls in first-person shooters. It's very odd. You can't tilt your head in a first-person shooter. You're always ramrod straight up and down. But you can yaw. So yaw is this. Yaw is the direction you're looking. Are you looking north, south, east, or west? That's yaw. Okay? And so angle mod, if you're looking at 366 degrees, it has you look at 6 degrees because there's 360 degrees in a circle. So if you're looking at -1 degrees, you're looking at 359 degrees. So angle mod is used to snap values to 0 to 359. Okay, so these are all globals, and you can make your own global if you want. I don't really recommend it. Okay, so a bunch of code for handling AI. So if you're interested in I don't know what that means. I don't know. So yeah, my friend in Barcelona, leaves messages for me in the comments. So it used to be that the demons would despawn if they hit water, but there's a flag now that you can set to have monsters despawn in water. But I figured there's some water maps, and it's kind of pointless playing a Warlock if everything despawns, So this moves towards your enemy. This walks around a corner. Some of these bumped into a move target. Let's see. Touch, move target. So yeah, this is what I was telling you, Hazelton, the other day. So self is just a global, and other is just a global. So when you touch something, yourself, the other person is other, and you normally do things like this. Like if other.enemy, if other.move target's not self. So if you ran into something whose move target is not you, then return. So this code here is for when a monster runs into you. And so what it does, it actually switches. It does a swap. It swaps who I am and who you are, because they're just globals and they're set by the engine. So when a touch occurs, it just says, okay, entity 50, touch entity 60, because all an entity is just an index. It's an int. It's just a number. So what this code is doing is switching who's me and who's you. It switches them, and then it calls all these functions are required to run on self, and then it just returns because it doesn't matter at that point. So what the engine does is anytime there's a touch, it just sets these two global variables and it calls whatever the callback function is. So there is a dot touch. Like this. And so every time you have an entity, you can set a touch function on it. So when that thing touches something, it calls that function. And so this guy's touch function is set to T move target, that function we were just looking at earlier. So when it runs into something, it calls that function. Okay. And then the T move target function handles what happens when it actually runs into something. So find so it does a vector yaw. So it figures out what direction it should be looking when it runs into you. It's like if you run into a demon from behind, it'll turn around and attack you. I think that's what it's doing there. So all it's doing is setting its ideal yaw to be like if you run into its butt, it'll turn around. That's what this code's handling. And if not self move target, pause time, stands up. Yeah, if it's idle, like if it's idle or sleeping or something, because demons have technically the ability to go to sleep, and if you touch it, it'll stand up. So, there's a function for determining range. Anyway, so AI's got all that AI stuff. That could be a fun mod to make your own monster or something and make your own AI. That's always fun. Army handles the Quake bot. So there we go. So the Quake bot is a pretty involved code. I did not write this, by the way. I've made minor modifications, so this is not my code. And it is long. Like it is a long 1700 lines of code to do a Quake bot. And the things level up. You can give them commands. Like they're pretty involved. Kind of want to make a monster AI. Okay, that's cool. That is cool. Alright, Crusader. There is a Crusader job in the game that grants holy auras to teammates. They can grant power, so they do more damage. Resistance, they take less damage. Haste, they attack faster. Invisibility, they're invisible. Regen, their health regens. And speed, they move faster. So basically, you have... Remember how we were talking about having like regenerating ammo the other day? This is how it's done in QuakeC. So basically, if you give somebody the health regen aura, then this is like the event tick with a delay node. So if you do an event tick with a delay node of 1 second, every second it'll spawn, or every second it'll run the code. So aura regen rate is what was it? 3. So once every 3 seconds. That's what that's saying. So next think. This is actually really important. There's think and touch, right? In Unreal Engine, this is how you interact with the world. Same thing in QuakeC. You have a touch function so that when you touch something, something happens. For this healing aura, it has a think function. So every 3 seconds, it will call. That's what this is saying. The next time it calls this function is going to be the current time. Time is just a global. The current time plus 3. So at the current time plus 3, it will call this. This is how you make an action take place in the future. Did you guys hear that? If you want something to happen 3 seconds from now, this is how you do it. You set its next think to be time plus 3. Next think is the time that the action will take place. And you set its think to be whatever function you want it to run. So for example, a grenade exploding. You pull a pin, you throw it. Its think function is explode, grenade explode. And its next think time is going to be the current time plus 3. So you throw the grenade, and then it'll bounce around the world, and 3 seconds later, boom, it explodes. Super easy. Very clean code. It works really nicely. And if you want to have something run periodically, like every 3 seconds to do something, then this is how you spawn a timer. In Unreal Engine, there's a timer thing. We haven't talked about it. We've done it. We've simulated a timer in other ways, but this is how you do a timer in QuakeC. You spawn an actor. You spawn an entity. Doesn't appear in the world. If you don't set a model, if you don't set a position on it, it will not draw. It's just anything and everything inside of QuakeC is basically an entity that does stuff. So we're creating an invisible entity that is the regen timer. And in 3 seconds, it will call aura regenerate. It sets the owner of the health regen to be the person. So like the Crusader casts a spell on somebody, and then it spawns this invisible entity and says in 3 seconds, heal that person. And its class name is timer. And so the reason for that is because when a person dies, all timers on them are removed. So if you have like a damaging aura where you're taking damage over time, when you die, all of those get wiped. And that keeps you from creating infinite entities which will crash the server. So does this system make sense to you? And then when aura regenerate is called, it's going to reset its next thing. So in 3 seconds, it calls this function here, aura regenerate. And what you'll see is, after the vetting and stuff like that, in 3 seconds, it's going to call itself again. And so you set a timer by saying, in 3 seconds, heal somebody, and in 3 seconds, call this function. And then that function heals the person and says, in 3 seconds, call me again. And it will sit there and just, by having that line there, the think function is already set to itself. And so it will just sit there and every 3 seconds fire this function. So every 3 seconds it will heal the person. So if the person is below their max health, then it heals them by the regeneration amount. And if they have any armor at all, the armor will regenerate. If they don't have any armor, their armor is gone. Sorry. So go pick up some more armor. And then there's a little bit of vetting. Like if the person's dead, it doesn't bring them back to life. So if their owner dies, then the healing aura is removed. Do you guys understand this construction? This is really important if you want to make video games. Having an action take place in the future and having actions take place periodically is one of the most important tools to have when making a video game. You pull a lever and you hear rumbling, and then 3 seconds later the door opens, right? You are playing World of Warcraft and you are playing a Warlock and you dot somebody. A dot is a timer. you know. And the dots on a Warlock have a maximum duration, like 30 seconds or something. And so, in addition to just saying, think again in a second or whatever, they'll probably have a counter on them that counts how many times they fired. And once they hit a maximum of 30 seconds, then they remove themselves. But yeah, if you want to have things take place periodically, the think and touch system works really nicely. If you want to have something happen in the future, think and touch. Like that's all the core elements for interacting with the world. Trace line, radius search, think, touch are in there. They don't have a separate overlap. Instead, you can create an invisible entity that has a size, and when you overlap it, it calls the touch function on it. So the overlap and touch basically work the same way in QuakeC. So all the things we've been talking about this semester on how you can make your game come alive and how you can interact with things in the world, they're all in QuakeC, and this is the very first-person shooter, and it has basically, you know, all the functionality you can think of, other than like skeletal meshes, which they've added. Actually, the Attackers Go Red people have added skeletal meshes. So the FTE client does support skeletal meshes for better animations and things like that. Okay, so that's Crusader. Custom.qc is my thing. You can see it's custom Team Fortress, and all of the code relating into the like when you go to the console and you type custom, then when you die it drops you into the class building system, and that was a function and a half, because it has to strip away all of your attributes. So if you have any timers, it's got to clear all the timers. If you have any buildings built, it's got to blow them all up. If you have any grenades, like everything has to be removed from the world. Otherwise, you know, if you don't do that, for example, I think in an early version I wasn't clearing the armor properly. You could buy heavy armor and then respec, and it doesn't clear your armor. And so things from a previous build would carry over to your next build. So I had to be very careful to go through and reset the gravity, and because you can change gravity on people so they float. There's an anti-grav grenade to make them float through the air. Kill off their demons. Like it's a whole like function. And then after you leave the class generation system, then it sets a lot of variables. What is your maximum rockets? What is your maximum armor? If you have money left over, it sells it off. Yeah, so tons of code. This is 1,800 lines of code that I wrote in order to make, and this is the heart of Custom Team Fortress right here. So, functions to see is something in building, is, you know, detonate all of your guns. So, it's funny. What else do we have here? Oh yeah, this is if somebody team kills too many of their teammates, then there is a system that curses them. It takes away all of their items and health and just spins them around in a circle, giving them motion sickness. And their teammates can shoot them as much as they want, and they have 50 health and no armor. And every time a teammate kills them, they come right back to life, but they lose a point. So basically, if you accidentally kill a bunch of your teammates will just be like, I understand, it's not a big deal. You spin around in a circle, you get motion sickness for 20 seconds, and then you're done. But if you're a jerk and you've been murdering your teammates, you start spinning like that, your teammates start shooting you, and gibs start flying, and your score just goes like that. So it's like a voting system to kick to kick somebody. You know, because you will kill your teammates occasionally. Like if you set off like a grenade and somebody walks over it, you know. So, yeah. It is kind of funny though. Reteaming, so if the teams become unbalanced, it'll move somebody from one team to another. I've got some new grenades that I made. The crack grenade is it's from Warhammer, the name. It's an anti-metal grenade, so it destroys armor, but it doesn't hurt people's health. And so it's really good at destroying sentry guns. So that's, you know, if you're a spy, you buy crack grenades and throw them on sentry guns, and they just melt. They also destroy any metal you have on you. So any of your cells or metal supplies, like engineers have a metal supply they use to build their stuff. If you crack an engineer, they lose all their metal. So they can't build a sentry gun until they go back and resupply. And heavy weapons guys need cells in order to spin up their assault cannons. So you crack them, and then they can't fire their assault rifle, the heavy cannon. So it's a very useful grenade. I like them a lot. They detonate on impact. They don't bounce. So you can throw it, and it just hits the ground and explodes. Frag grenades are something I'd probably like to revisit at some point. I wanted to have a volumetric grenade. In other words, a grenade that can kill people around a corner. Right? Because like right now, if a grenade goes off and you have 1 inch of wall between you and it, the line of sight is blocked and you take no damage. And so what I wanted to do was have a volumetric grenade, one that could explode around corners. So like if somebody's waiting around a corner, you could drop it here and the explosion goes around and kills them on the other side. And so this is my kind of way of simulating that. So what it does is it shoots out nails in every direction, and the nails bounce when they hit walls. And so if it bounces this way, it bounces, and it'll go around a corner. And those nails do a ton of damage. And after they've bounced like 3 or 4 times, they delete themselves. It's quite heavy on the network side of things because it's creating a lot of projectiles in the world that need to be drawn. And they change their velocity a lot, which requires a network packet. So I try making them more expensive than they should be, just to discourage that. Chunky salsa, yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. There was a rule in Shadowrun, I think, that if you drop a grenade into a elevator shaft and somebody's standing in it, there's the chunky salsa rule. It just like blows you up, like you're dead. And so yeah, if you did that with this here, all the nails would reflect around, and each one of those nails does like shoots 12 pieces of shrapnel. Each one does damage. I don't know how much damage. They bounce 8 times, and if they hit anybody, then they take quite a lot of damage. And so if you're in an enclosed area, they'll all bounce around and hit you, and you'll just 100% die. It's very powerful in closed spaces. In open spaces, you throw it, and you see just a wave of nails fly out like this, and maybe they hit one person. You know, they're really designed to be in corridors and twisty corridors, because people are used to video game logic where you can put no line of sight. Sorry, this you can't shoot me. AI can't see me. Put a bucket over somebody's head, they can't see you. You know, a grenade can't affect me. Yeah, that's video game logic. What I did on a run last week. Bye high threat response. Yeah, nice. Yeah, and so like whenever there's something like that where it kind of annoys you, you get what I'm saying? Like the best inspiration for modding is annoyance. And inspiration. Like sometimes you're like, it'd be really cool. Like my roommate used to tell me, there needs to be a mariachi weapon in the game. You know, and he kept lobbying over and over again for me to put a mariachi weapon in the game. And I never did because it seemed kind of lame to me. But, sometimes you just have this passion for like something you want to see happen. And then sometimes there's just something that annoys you. And the fact that just little bits of terrain, especially on more complicated maps, on uncomplicated maps, you have a big square with no blocking terrain. But on complicated maps where there's like little bumps and divots and chairs and things like that, you throw a grenade, and because there's no line of sight, because one of the legs of the chair blocks it, a grenade goes right off to somebody, they don't take any damage. And you go, man, that's annoying. And so annoyances are a great source of inspiration for mods. And so that's why I made the frag grenade. how much damage does it do? It does 150 damage. Okay, so this function is actually really important. Anytime you do damage in this mod, that's the function that damages people. So we talked a little bit about the damage system in Unreal Engine, how there's like radial damage and direct damage and typed damage and things like that. So the same system exists in Team Fortress. This function was originally written by Team Fortress Software, now part of Valve. And what it is, it's a single function call that anytime anybody takes damage, a monster, a person, anything, anytime anybody takes damage, you should go through this function. And it kind of does everything. It's a huge function, by the way. It's a gigantic function. Because it handles like all the different rules of combat. You know, what if somebody has asbestos armor and you hit them with a flamethrower? All that's inside of there. So TFT damage is like the one of the most important functions in the game. So if you want to damage somebody, you call it like this. So we are damaging whoever it is. Like when we made our frag, when we made the fragment, this is how we made it. It's a projectile weapon. So we spawned a new actor, spawned a entity, set the owner of it to be us because we want to get points for it when we kill somebody. We set the move type to be fly missile, so there's no gravity, they just fly in a straight line. We give them a bounding box so that they can hit things. We give it a think function, and the think function will will activate in 0.1 seconds. So it's going to fly outwards for 0.1 seconds, and then it is going to change directions. Yeah, so it flies out for a tenth of a second, and then it changes directions. So the reason why I do that is I push them out like this, then they all move in random directions. They move out a little bit, and then fly randomly. And that seemed to work better in terms of getting around things, you know. So, it sets the model here to be just a little nail. Its size is 0. Its origin is the origin of the grenade. It comes up 10 units, so it's not spawning at... Like, grenades usually explode on the ground. And so it looked really weird at first, because you had just, like, these nails, like, sliding on the ground, like, killing people in their feet, which looked really weird. So I pulled it up, so it's more at, like, knee height or something, bouncing around. Its velocity equals forward, and forward, I think, is... random. So it rolls a random number from 0 to 1. The random function gives you a number from 0 to 1 times 360. So that's its yaw. That's the direction it's looking. So it picks a random direction to look. It calls the make vector function, which, remember, everything's a global. So if you want to use the forward vector, the right vector, the up vector, it's inside of make vectors. And so you call that, and then down here it sets its velocity equal to its forward vector times the frag velocity, which is a very high number. So it picks a random direction to look, then it flies in that direction at high speed. A tenth of a second later, it randomly chooses another direction. So it kind of scatters out and then random. And if it touches anything, it calls frag spike touch. Okay. So you see touch and think. We've got a touch if it intersects something, if it touches something. And we got a think for after. When does think get called? It gets called in 0.1 seconds from now. This is the current time. The current time plus 0.1 seconds. It calls this function. So if it touches something, then come in here. Where are you? Touch. Yeah, so the velocity is 1,000. It's quite fast. So if it touches something, if it touches the sky, or it just removes itself. If it touches something that does not take damage. Yeah, so if it hits something that doesn't take damage, like a wall, then it reflects off of it. If the thing does take damage, then we come in here and we say TFT damage. So other is the person that we hit. This is a touch function. So the touch function, when two things touch, the game engine sets self to be the person that's doing the touching, and other being the thing that gets touched. And so we're going to damage the other guy. We ran into somebody that could take damage, so we're going to damage them. We, the nail that's flying around, we're the person doing the damaging. Credit goes to the owner of us. That's why we set the owner, so they can get the point for the frag. This is the amount of damage, 150. You can choose whether or not it damages teammates and things like that. There's different options here. There's a lot of options for how that works. And then the type of damage is nail. And so there's nail, bullet, fire, electricity, and explosive. There's 5 damage types in the game. And in Unreal Engine, this is basically how you use the normal damaging system. You say who's getting damaged, who did the damaging, who the owner is, how much damage it is, and what damage type it is. It's literally the same function, just with a node and a blueprint instead of text. Okay. So, yeah. And, oh, that's interesting. So if, yeah, so, interesting. So nobody can be hit by more than 1 frag per second. So they can't be all exploded immediately. So if they were hit by another fragment within a second, they're immune. So the things will reflect off of them. But then if they're in a closed area, they bounce off, they come back, and they hit you again. And so, yeah, it's not quite instant death. But you will be taking 150 per fragment you pick up, which is going to kill you in 2 nails. You know, unless you have the max armor, which is 300 armor, 100 health, and you can have wood armor. Wood armor absorbs nails, half damage from nails. So you could feasibly take 4 nails to die. It's still not good if you're in an enclosed area. It'll still probably kill you. Okay, so custom.qc has got stuff related to custom TF. The other most important one is weapons.qc. So weapons.qc is not only where weapons are found, as you can imagine, but it also does things like pre-caching. Anytime you want to use an a model, or actually technically an image, you can put 2D images into the game too. Anytime you want to put an image, we rarely do that, a model or a sound into the game, you have to pre-cache it. So the server has a list of all the different things that the game needs, and when you connect to the server, it checks that against the client. If the client doesn't have a specific sound, it downloads it to them. It's really nice. You don't have to download a map prior to connecting to a server. The server will just send you the entire map and any models and any sounds that you're missing. So it's quite nice. And so that's all in the pre-cache thing here. And so if you want to make your own sound, or if you want to make your own model, you just copy and paste one of these lines and put in the path to the sound, weapons, whatever. Wherever you put this sound, that's what you put it in here. And then it pre-caches it, and you can play it. Where's the code for the water jump? Control-Shift-F and search for Jello. I haven't opened for some reason my right mouse click was just not right click. Yeah, see that? Windows, man, I tell you, it's garbage. There you go. Yeah, search for Jello, and there you go. So that. Yeah, there we go. Good job. Well done. Good job, Windows. Okay, so yeah, so in addition to all the pre-caching stuff, basically most of the weapons are found inside of here. So if you scroll down, you can see bullet trace line, fire bullets. This is a generic function for firing all the different shotgun style weapons. So the light assault, the heavy assault, the shotgun, the double shotgun, they all use this function to cut down on duplicate code. Fire the shotgun, it's going to call fire bullets. Yeah, so it's going to fire 6 bullets. Fire super shotgun, calls fire bullets, firing 12 bullets. But it's got a wider spread. So right here, this is the spread on the shotgun. You can see the single barrel shotgun has a much narrower spread. So, and it's got a range of 1,500 units, which is about across a sniper deck to sniper deck, or so. The super shotgun has a shorter range and a wider spread, so it does double the damage, but it's pretty ineffective at long range. That's video game logic. 2 barrels is far more inaccurate than 1 barrel in a video game. Sniper rifle. The sniper rifle can be put into auto rifle mode, which turns it into a terrible machine gun. Here's the assault cannon. The assault cannon has to spin up and spin down and stuff like that, but it is a hugely damaging weapon. The light assault is a weapon that I made. This is a sprite. So this code here will draw multiple frames of an animation of a rocket exploding. Our client replaces all this with their own rocket effects. So when something explodes, like a grenade explodes or something like that, it calls the become explosion function, and which I guess just removes itself, I guess. T-missile touch. This is the touch function on a rocket. So when you shoot a rocket, it's got a touch function set on it. If it hits the sky, it just removes itself. No harm, no foul. If it hits somebody though, then it directly damages them. It damages the person touched. The rocket is the person doing the damage. The owner is the person that gets credit for it. The amount of damage you do is 92 plus bonus damage, which I don't know where that's set. Bonus. Okay. So if it's a cluster rocket, it doesn't do any bonus damage. Okay. And no special rules on it, and it's explosion type damage. And then in addition to direct impact on the rocket, it then also does radius damage. And so there's 2 functions to do damage technically. This is if you're going to directly damage somebody. And radius damage is when you have like a grenade explosion or a det pack go off or a rocket, and that does a radius search and does damage fall off based on how far they are away. So it's basically just like an Unreal Engine where you can directly damage somebody or you can do radius damage to somebody. So shotgun damage is 6. So the shotgun damage, I don't think is 6. Maybe it is. Let's see here. It fires 6 bullets. And so, fire bullets, yeah, the first parameter is how many bullets to fire. And each bullet does damage. How much damage does it do? Bullet trace line. Direction. Damage equals 0, clear multi-damage. Okay, so shotgun damage holds how much damage each bullet does. So if you want to search for that, you can find out how much each bullet does. You can change them. The light assault cannon damage, the assault cannon damage, each of these has a different amount of damage it does. The super shotgun, the double-barreled shotgun, just uses the same damage as a shotgun. It just fires twice as many bullets. Yep. Okay, so the assault cannon damage is 6 per bullet. Light assault is 4 per bullet, and the shotgun 6 per bullet. Okay, so the single-barreled shotgun does 36 damage. The double-barreled shotgun does 72 damage. So it's quite powerful. It's just the spread causes it to be not a very good weapon. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. We will do that long-awaited scavenger hunt. And your mod proposal is due on Tuesday. So hunt around in the code, play a little bit more, see if there's something that interests you. You want to mess with Jello water, that's fine. You want to mess with the AI, that's fine. Just type it up in a mod proposal. It's something you have to do. I think I wasn't quite clear enough on the game proposal, the project proposal, because a lot of people, like, I was like, propose me your ideal game. but I should have qualified that with that you can make. So propose to me your ideal mod that you can make. It doesn't have to be QuakeC. It could be Minecraft or something like that. But by default, I assume you're going to do QuakeC if you don't have any ideas otherwise. Okay? Because I know this pretty well. I wrote all this code, you know. So, yeah. I can help you with this a lot more. Like last semester, we had a student modifying War of the Rings or something. I don't know. Can't help you, you know. You know it better than me, probably. So. All right, so that's it. Yeah, that was Aaron. Yeah. Yeah, I can't really, you know, do anything about a game that I don't know anything about, you know. So, any questions? Any questions about, like, where is the code to do something? Yeah, you finish it, of course. Everybody finished their mods last semester. Yeah. Any questions about unlimited Balrogs? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's you know, Control Shift F is your friend, and you can just use that to hunt through the code and find where things are. And in general, you just want to look at how things are done currently and copy and paste them and change them. That's the heart of modding. Find where something is and copy and paste, or you know, if you know, you want to increase shotgun damage times 2. There you go. Done. You now have a mod that will have the shotguns do double damage. Voila. 20 times damage. 200 times damage. There you go. Secretly the best weapon in the game now. See, nobody ever takes the single barrel shotgun. It's too weak. So you multiply it by 200. That would actually be kind of fun. I don't know. It'd be kind of fun. Everyone's just running around with a single barrel shotgun. Sniping each other. One shotgun in the level. Yeah, you got to race to get to the middle of the map where there's one shotgun. That'd be a fun mod. Be a fun mod. You don't allow people to buy the shotgun, but you allow them to pick it up or something. Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah. So everyone's racing to get the one shotgun. All right, so that's it for today, guys. See you, and see you on Tuesday.